Hello, and welcome to another Syvantis Fast Class. I'm Todd, and in this session, we'll delve into managing sales price list in Business Central. I want to emphasize that the sales process is quite similar when dealing with purchase price list, but for relevance and simplicity, we'll focus on sales price list. If you have any questions as we go along, drop them in the chat and we can address them. The sales price list information discussed here is a new feature in BC and won't go into full effect until Q2 of next year. Until then, you can turn this on or off by going to Feature Management, and it's called Feature Update New Sales Pricing Experience. We recommend doing this in a sandbox to avoid accidentally disrupting your current processes. Now, let's dive into the settings. First, I'm going to go to Sales and Receivable Settings. And in Sales and Receivable Settings, there's a section you'll see here called Prices. In Prices, you have an Allow Edit Active Price option. What this does is when you set up a price list, which I'll show you in a minute, they can be in an active status. And when they're in an active status, you usually can't edit them when this is turned off. We recommend just leaving it on so you don't have to go to a draft status all the time. But depending on how you want your system to work, you may want to leave it on or off. You can also set the default price list code here. Going to the actual sales price list, I've got a sample set up here for us for illustrative purposes. In the sales price list header, there's a number of things that you need to fill out. And what this does is it defaults into the line items, whatever you have set up in the header. So in this case, I have an assigned to type of customer, which you have options. You can do all customers, customer price groups, discount groups. So you can actually slice and dice and merge your customers into different groups to give them special pricing. Also have an option to view columns for price, price and discount. What this does is changes what's viewable on the line. You'll see when I go to price and discount, down here on the right, I just picked up a line discount option. When I do discount, my line discount option stays there. And what I'm going to do show you today is I'm going to use price. And you'll see it'll go back to the price option that I have. So once a price list is entered, you can look at it in different ways. Here's the status I was talking about earlier. Normally, when that option is turned off in sales and receivables setup, you have to have draft selected in order to change anything in this price list. However, I have it turned on so I can leave my status active and I'm good to go. The currency code is if you use multi-currency, you have options to pick which currency you want the price list to be in. In most cases, if you're in the US and you're only selling US, you only have one currency, so you can leave this blank. The start date and end date are the inclusive dates that the price list is going to be effective for. And allowing updating defaults lets you change the defaults on the line items after they've been entered in. Looking at the lines, I've got some options set up here. In the first line, I want to point out the 2000, which is the tray research, actually came from my assigned to item up here in the header. The dates also came from my header, and those are the inclusive dates of 1 month of September. I added an item, and I put one piece is what the price is good for, and the unit price for that one item is $192.80. Effectively, what I've got here is every time my customer 2000 buys this line item in September, it's going to be $192.80. The second line, again, same customer, same date range, same part, but I put a minimum quantity of 10. What that minimum quantity of 10 does is if the customer orders 1 to 9 items, they'll get the $192.80 price. If they order 10 or more, they'll get the $175 price for that line. The third line, same customer, but I did it for 1 day. So think about this as like a flash sale or an inventory reduction sale because you have too many Berlin guest chairs in the warehouse. And what you want to do is you'll set any quantity that I buy is going to be $169. So Tray Research will get that price for whatever quantity they buy on 9/30. For entering larger price lists, that you can have some with quite a few lines. Consider using configuration packages. Fill out one line, set the price list to draft, and export the package to Excel, and then complete the rest of the price line parameters using the file. Make sure the status column remains as draft for all lines. Then, once you import the lines in using the config pack, change the status back to active in the price list once the lines have been imported. You can also update price list. Microsoft has streamlined the manual entry process if you prefer not to use configuration packages. You can use the suggest lines to create new lines in a price list. And I'm going to show you a sample of this. I'm going to pick suggest lines. You have an option to filter by different filter options. I'm not going to filter by anything. In this case, what I'm going to do is going to leave it blank by item. And I'm going to bring in every item that in the system into this price list. What you see here is all the items that were selected, which was all of them, that are in the system were added with the existing sales price for that item. You can see a pretty easy way to get a bunch of information in. So work with the filters, figure out what the best filter is to get the items in that you need, and then use that to fill your price list. For updates or to create a new list, you can use copy lines and make adjustments to prices. For example, if you have a 3% cost increase, you can apply this price adjustment by copying an existing list to a new one. First, you have to create a new list. I have a new list created already, and I'm going to select, and you'll see there's no lines in this price list. What I'm going to do is pick copy lines. I'm going to pick an existing price list, which is the one we were just using. And I'm going to set this to be 1.03, which should give me the exact same price list with a 3% cost increase on the price. And there you go. You can also look at price lists from the item card. And I'm going to go to that same part that I know I have price list set up for, Berlin guest chair. If I go to prices and discounts in the header and select sales prices, I can see all the price lists that are assigned to this item, and I can access that price list from this location. And I'm going to move this one back to active. Before we conclude, it's essential to be aware of some limitations. You can't apply negative discounts. Sales prices work inclusively, and there are no exclusionary functions available. You can't set a price list for all customers and then exclude one customer from the list. You need to set up a separate price list for the excluded customer. There also isn't an easy way to determine if an item appears on multiple lists without checking the item card we just showed you and seeing which price list they're assigned to. In conclusion, sales price lists share many similarities with purchase price lists used for vendors. While our discussion is primarily focused on sales, the fundamentals of creating, managing, and fine-tuning price lists apply equally to purchases. The key distinction lies in their respective purposes. Sales price lists determine how you price and offer your products and services to customers, whereas purchase price lists dictate how you negotiate and procure items from vendors. By recognizing these similarities and adapting the knowledge and strategies discussed here, you'll be better equipped to optimize your interactions with customers and suppliers, ensuring the best possible outcomes for your business. Sales price lists are the backbone of your pricing structure, enabling you to tailor your offerings to different customer segments, product categories, and pricing scenarios. They play a pivotal role in ensuring that your customers receive fair and competitive prices while helping you maintain profitability and efficiency. They're a crucial component in effectively managing pricing strategies within your organization. As you embark on your journey to master the intricacies of sales price lists, always remember to verify your lines, maintain an active status on relevant lists, and structure your pricing strategy to minimize overlap and confusion. Keep in mind this feature is still evolving. Microsoft may introduce future enhancements to refine your pricing management capabilities. By embracing this tool, you'll be well equipped to optimize your pricing strategy for success in your business endeavors. Thanks for joining us today.